So for this question, we're asked to find the second derivative of y with respect to x using implicit differentiation. Remember, to do that, we take the derivative of each variable using any rules that we need to, like the product rule or the chain rule. And then remember that anytime we take the derivative of y, we need to use implicit differentiation and multiply by the derivative of y with respect to x. So first, the derivative of 5y squared, okay, we multiply the 2 in front. 2 times 5 is 10. Decrease the power on the y to a 1. And then since that was a y, we multiply by dy over dx. Okay, minus x times y. Here we need to use the product rule. So for the product rule, we can take the derivative of the first term, derivative of x is 1, and multiply that by y. So 1y, or of course we could just call that y. Okay, and then normally with the product rule it would be plus, but since we have this minus, we will say minus the derivative of the second, which is 1, times the first, which is x. And since we took the derivative of y, we multiply that by dy over dx. Okay, so there's the derivative of the minus xy. And then last, for the left side, plus the derivative of 2x squared. Multiply the 2 in front. 2 times 2 is 4. Decrease the exponent to now just an x. And then that equals, on the right-hand side, the derivative of 7 is 0. Okay, so let's collect everything on the right-hand side that does not have a dy over dx. So this will be adding y to both sides, subtracting 4x to both sides. These cancel, leaving on the left 10y dy over dx minus x dy over dx, and that equals y minus 4x. Okay, next, to get dy over dx, let's factor it out. Okay, and then last, to get it alone, divide by 10y minus x. Okay, so that's the first part. Dy over dx equals y minus 4x over 10y minus x. Okay, we're going to need that part later on. So let's make sure we just pay attention to this. We're going to need this part. Okay, so we pick up with this. Okay, find the second derivative. So let's continue. So we'll take dy over dx equals y minus 4x over 10y minus x. We need to find the second derivative, so we'll use the quotient rule to do that. So we have u equals y minus 4x. We have v equals 10y minus x. U prime, the derivative of y is 1 times dy over dx minus 4x. And v prime is derivative of 10y is 10. Derivative of y is dy over dx. Okay, and then derivative of minus x is minus 1. Okay, so from here, normally we would go ahead and use the quotient rule, but keep in mind we have these dy over dx's. We're going to have to adjust for that later. But let's go ahead and use the quotient rule. So we would have u prime times v minus v prime times u over v squared. So this would be dy over dx minus 4x minus, I'm sorry, let's go back here, mess that up. Okay, dy over dx minus 4x, that is my u prime. We need to multiply that by v. Okay, now minus v prime. Times u. All of that over v squared. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to start cleaning this up a little bit. Okay, so as we said, we know that dy over dx equals y minus 4x over 10y minus x. Let's go ahead and substitute here and here for what we know dy over dx equals. Okay, so continuing, dy over dx, replace that with y minus 4x over 10y minus x. Okay, and then we still have our minus 4x, and then we still have our 10y minus x. Okay, and then our second term now, minus 10 times y minus 4x, putting this in for dy over dx, over 10y minus x. And then we still have our minus 1. And then we still have our y minus 4x. Okay, all of that over 10y minus x squared. From there are some other things that you can do to simplify to come to a somewhat nice answer, actually, but it's not necessary. You can enter in this carefully as your final answer. Make sure to be careful with parentheses and where you're putting your fractions and things like that.